What's up? This is your host, Non-Fungible TC, Non-Fungible today and Non-Fungible tomorrow. And today is Tuesday, and thank you for tuning in if you're watching this. Before I begin, I want to share something, and I have an initial idea because I do want to add some more variety to the show. And rather than just me ranting about daily news and also talking about different type of stuff, I'm thinking of creating a more interactive experience. So in the future, if I am able to, so if you're a project founder, if you're an NFT project, if you want to give away whitelist, and if you want someone to host like a game or something like that where people could earn the whitelist, feel free to send me a DM, send me an email, because I want to do different type of giveaways, and it will be more fun to have different people playing online game, and the winner would get the whitelist, right? So it'll be more interactive, and it'll be a fun way to win whitelist rather than just joining giveaways, right? So this is just one thing that I want to share if you are interested. So hopefully there'll be more interactivity in the future. So talking about whitelist giveaway, today I got an email, okay? So I got an email from this person called DeFi Kingdom. So as you know, DeFi Kingdom is actually a very popular blockchain related game, right? So here's the interesting email. So I got this email saying that integration on your YouTube, okay? Hello, I did not even say the name. I'm one of the something manager, I think advertising manager of the game. We suggest you make a video on your YouTube channel about this game. Please send us your advertising prices. We will send you all the details, including all promotion material after your response. We are looking forward to your reply. Warm regards. With no names, right? So the reason why I want to share this with you is that I want to share if you are a content creator or if you receive these emails, proceed with caution, right? Look at this. This is not using the DeFi Kingdom domain name, right? It uses Navia, right? So Navia is kind of like an email service in South Korea, I believe. And I don't think DeFi Kingdom is from Navia, right? And the thing is that if you don't have like a first and last name, there's no accountability, and this doesn't even look professional, right? It's not a professional email. Usually it's like, hello, Non-Fungible TC, we are interested in your channel. So one thing that I do want to share with you is that you have to be cautious, right? You have to take all precautions. So what I did is that, of course, I said hello. I didn't have a name, right? There's no name. Can you share more information? What are you hoping to achieve? How do you find my channel? So ask them specific questions, right? And I got this email reply saying that hello, so no name again, very rude. Thank you for responding to our offer, in exclamation mark. You will have to make a promotion video about us, which I think I'm doing a promotion video right now, telling a little about our game. Also express your personal opinion about this game. The duration of the video can be 6 to 15 minutes. Below we have attached the material necessary for the acquaintance. So the use of grammar is kind of weird. Don't forget to sign the contract and send it to us and get your first 50% payment. The contract is archived along with all other promotion materials. Also attach your payment details, blah, blah, blah. Links to the archive with promotional material. So they send you a Dropbox link. And the really scary thing about this, right? This is a Dropbox thing, and as you can see this, it is a .zip. So it's a zip file, right? You don't know what's inside the zip file. Or mega.nz file, blah, 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 right? So password, DeFi Kingdoms, work the DeFi, our Telegram thing, and then our links, right? And the interesting thing about DeFi Kingdom is that I can't even go to the website because the domain or some issue has been expired or something, right? So here's the official white paper. I'm waiting for an answer. Warm regards, right? So the reason why I want to share with you today about this is that I think this is a scam, right? Because no official email from here. They send you a link without information. They are not addressing my question. How did they find this channel? They probably don't watch this channel. They just, it's a bot that basically sweeps different emails, send an email, identifying them as an influencer or content creator, and then send them a file which may install a virus on your computer. So the reason why I want to share this with you is that this is very likely to be a scam. Don't fall for a scam, and the best thing to do is just press delete, which I will delete. So without further ado, today I want to talk about DeFi, the new frontier of finance. So what happened is that Visa came out with a report about DeFi like a week ago, okay? So I want to go through this report to you and what Visa thinks about DeFi and also what it means for us to be in the space, right? So this is the report, DeFi, the new frontier of finance. Key trends in APAC should be watching, right? So it is a report for banks. What should you be aware of in terms of DeFi and this new technology? So if you look at this, right? Let us go to the next slide. Okay, so basically it talks about like decentralization is up and rising, decentralized finance, what innovations there are, what makes up DeFi, the key trends, and also how Visa can help. So well, this is kind of like a editorial, right? It is kind of like a report hoping to introduce some knowledge, but at the same time trying to sell the services that they provide. So the first thing is that what they're saying that there's a trend that there is emergent shift to move away from centralized system to distributed architectures, right? And one of the tangible experiences is that pandemic, right? A lot of people started working remotely. And so these things are kind of like there's a paradigm shift to decentralization, to remoteness, right? So they talk about how Web3 employs the use of decentralized computer network, distributed application, and smart contracts to reduce reliance on third-party entities who own user data, thereby giving user more control over how and where the data is used, right? So they gave an example of what's Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3, which is worth reading, right? So yeah, moving on. So they talk about DeFi, right? So the innovation in the financial system. They talk about the thing about DeFi is that they uses blockchain technology and programmable money. So the important thing is programmable money. Now money could be programmed by using the blockchain and also distributed ledgers. Allow trust to be established through the consensus of multiple user verifying transactions, right? So, introduction to decentralized finance. So blockchain gives you a permissionless, anyone with an internet connection can participate. Automated outcomes are self-executed upon meeting conditions and transparent, publicly available manner, right? So they're saying that in the beginning, DeFi protocol originated in the Ethereum network, which embraced programmability at its core. So the Ethereum network supports EVM-compatible decentralized apps, and therefore you could program these apps if it meets certain conditions. It releases the fund or it retrieves back the funding. So that's how you have DeFi. But one of the biggest concerns is the high gas fee, but there is alternative like different blockchains to use DeFi on, right? So they talk about different type of applications: lending and borrowing, trading, like decentralized exchanges, derivatives, insurance, and stablecoins, right? So decentralized trading, lending and borrowing would be borrowers deposit more volatile asset like Bitcoin and Ether as collateral to borrow more stablecoins, and usually they use these stablecoins to do trading. And they're saying that, however, new types of loan are beginning to emerge, right? And I do want to point one thing that they did not share in the report, and that is how NFTs nowadays could be used as collateral to get liquidity to do different type of trading, right? So NFT is itself another way of DeFi, which is kind of innovative in a sense. So they talk about trading, decentralized exchange that uses auto market maker, and they're saying that, hey, it gained a lot of traction, right? Before it was like more than 1 trillion was traded in 2021, and making an over 800% increase from 115 billion in 2020. Okay, so more and more people are using decentralized exchanges. So they talk about the stack, the building, like the wallets. You need to use a DeFi wallet like MetaMask, that kind of stuff. Aggregators, DeFi primitives like lending, trading, derivatives, and asset management. Oracle, so basically, for example, trading, they need to pull the data of the prices of the cryptocurrency. So they need to use Oracle solutions like Chainlink, right? And also transaction layers, which is the blockchain that supports the DeFi applications on top. So, yeah, and they talked about Asia, which is really interesting, right? 38% of Asia Pacific consumers are likely to use DeFi service in the next 6 months, okay? 21% of Asia Pacific consumers saying that they have used DeFi services before. So we are still quite early in terms of Asia usage, right? So this report is generated by the Visa Singapore, right? So that's why they have a focus on APAC. But if we look at this, right? Look at Korea, right? If you look at this, like really tech advanced, where places where banking system is easily accessible, online banking is easily accessible, you do see that the DeFi usage is slower, right? Look at Korea, right? Like tech advanced, Hong Kong as well, right? 31%, Japan only 9%, right? And also maybe because they're more conservative. And Singapore, right? NFTs big in Singapore, but it seems that only 17% are likely to use DeFi in the future, right? But if you look at this, Indonesia, 54%, India, 50%, okay, Vietnam, 63%, right? So it kind of really shows you that for places where maybe internet banking or money is not as easily accessible, DeFi could be an important part in the market, right? So they did talk about the risks and challenges of security risks, volatile asset, governance structures and stuff like that. But they do believe that in the beginning it was done adopted by early adopters, but now as they are more developed and more consolidated, integration of end-to-end solution will be possible for financial institutions. So they're suggesting that if you're a financial institution, it might be time to look at DeFi, right? There's an acceleration of decentralized services. The next one is redefining financial business model. Okay, so they're saying that how smart contract technology technology could redefine financial models, right? So, but at the same time, before entering, you have to assess your current capabilities and potential business model to identify both strengths and the gaps, and also possibly work with Web3 partners, right? So partnership is important because you need to build your infrastructures and skills to really utilize this technology. The third one is that you need to use a risk management approach, so how you can manage your risk, because there's hacks and stuff like that. How do you have bounty programs, ethical hackers, to make sure that these DeFi protocols don't have any loophole, because there were a lot of hacks before. So in the end, it's basically shielding their own service, right? Selling what Visa can do and stuff like that. Okay, so I think it's an interesting report. How Visa, like, for those of you who do not know, Visa has been like pretty early in terms of embracing Web3. They were the first card, like the first credit card company to brought a CryptoPunk, right, a while back, right? So interesting, and just want to share this with you, right? And you can see that they're doing a lot of new stuff, and also a lot of accelerated program when it comes to Web3 as well, right? Largest program to help creator navigate NFTs. So moving on to today's traditional news. This morning, Walmart came up. I think the results were quite slightly positive, right? Home Depot, Walmart reported the most recent quarterly result. Okay, our stock have a strong summer following brutal first half of the year, so it sticks with the outlook. So I think that it basically means that it reaches its estimate, which is positive. Home Depot report. So they stuck with its outlook for the year. So basically, even though there's inflation, they are based on the estimations. So I think the market reacted slightly positive to it. But at the same time, housing market, is it possible that so home builder sentiment fell into negative territory this month, right? So is there house recession and stuff like that? Okay. So this is basically the market. Asia market, I think, was kind of mixed. Europe market is slightly positive, built-in momentum. Pre-market, still nothing not changed. But Dom's futures are up because Walmart retailers are doing quite well. But in UK, because of inflation, real wages decline at record rates. Okay, so this is pretty much the traditional news. We look at the crypto market, definitely Dogecoin is rallying. For some reason, it's rallying, right? And also shows you that although the market, I think ETH is going slightly up, okay, in the 24 hours time. So basically, maybe the market is, slightly recovering, even though we took a dip yesterday, right? So interesting news. If you look at Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, we are at the dominance at 40.82. So Bitcoin dominance went down. And I think our altcoins and Ethereum dominance went up, right? Look at this, right? Market cap slowly, creating upwards, which is good as long as we don't take a huge dump. If it does take a huge dump, it basically means that money is leaving the market, right? If you look at the total market cap. And then NFT market, I do want to share with this with you. I haven't shared NFT Gold for some time. If you look at it by 30 days, blue chip index. So basically, this is some money in the blue chip NFTs. You do see that as Ethereum is climbing up, the blue chip index in ETH, right? Price in ETH, not USD. Price in ETH is going downwards, right? So basically, people are trying to unload the NFTs, trying to hold Ethereum as we enter into the merge, right? So definitely, this is important to see. Looking at traditional news, Hodonot, the one from Singapore, filed for creditor protection. So maybe they're thinking of ways to, navigate out of this potential bankruptcy issue, right? Brazil brokerage, HP launched Bitcoin Ethereum trading, so more and more adoption in Brazil. Federal Reserve released new guidelines for crypto banks. So, until now, American financial institutions that want to conduct both crypto transaction and banking service have to pick a lane. But now, there could be like a hybrid, right? So that's good. So we could look into this, right? So this may soon change. New formal guidelines, institution offering a new type of financial product or with novel charters could be granted so-called master account. So I think more and more regulations, more and more clarity could be good in terms of institutional adoption, right? So I talked about royalties yesterday. Pretty much nothing significant, okay? But we do see, on Cointelegraph, right? Bitcoin miners hold 27% less Bitcoin after 3 months of major selling. So I did share with this, and also Corp Finance, if he sells this run out of money by October. And some interesting thing about how McKinsey, before the FOMC meeting, sold Bitcoin and one day bought Bitcoin at a higher price, right? So they're trying to trade using user funds, right? Do Kwon broke silence, went to Blockwork, did a interview, talk about, what happened. The community was kind of mixed. Some was just curious, like why Do Kwon isn't in jail where a lot of people lose money, but the developer of Tornado Cash is now in jail, right? So there is some debates of that. About the Bitcoin miner, I did share this today. So basically, according to this analysis from King, right? Block miners are dumping the Bitcoin holdings, but nearly not at the same extent as during the mining block up earlier this summer, right? They only sold 6,200 Bitcoin in July, less than the half amount they sold the previous month. Okay, so basically the May dump was basically due to the lunar crash. The June dump was actually due to Tesla selling the Bitcoin. Okay, so it seems like miners were forced to sell because the price was low and they need to sell in order to maintain the operation cost. So my question was that this begs the question to see another low like the June, because everyone is talking about, oh, we're gonna have a lower price, right? We're gonna have lower lows in the near future. Market is bad, blah blah blah. Do we need to see another huge selling off event by miners? Because miners are the ones with the most crypto, right? And if that's the case, have we reached the market bottom? Or will future black swan events cause the price to dump, making miners sell? So May was lunar crash, June was actually Tesla. So this is my question. So moving on to NFT news, IP rights agreement for CryptoPunk collection is now live and could be found at license term. Okay, so basically Yuga Labs have released the IP rights for your CryptoPunk, and now they have it on the internet. But in the end, Yuga Labs reserve the rights to make changes. Bored Apes reach 1 million followers on Twitter tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time, which is still 9 p.m. Eastern time. They're gonna do a Twitter Spaces, right? So which begs the question whether other side or a Yuga related asset will go up in price because of the celebration. And also Cyberpunk announced their own merch. Okay, interesting. Okay, and pretty much that news. Nothing really much happening today. Okay, so it's interesting to see how NFTs are kind of taking a huge dip if you look at the 30 days time frame in US dollars value. I mean in Ethereum value, not US dollar value, right? And most people are making a loss, right, in the last 30 days. So that's it for today. This is your host, Non-Fungible TC, signing out.